field of finance has become more competitive than ever. Yet you are strongly determined to build a prosperous career, and you're willing to do anything it takes to reach your goals. But how do you make the cut? Well, you start fact-finding, and you notice an ongoing trend. More and more people from all walks of life and professional backgrounds are taking on the challenge of tackling the CFA examination. Hold on, what's the CFA program to start with? Good question. It is one of the most regarded credentials in the investment management profession around the globe, offered internationally by the CFA Institute. Its curriculum sharpens your investment management and research analysis competencies, but you must pass a series of 3 6-hour exams to earn the CFA designation. In fact, each of them requires an average of 300 hours of self-study. It does sound like you'll have to invest considerable time in preparation. Still, the effort appears to pay off, if you work hard enough. You are right. But it's not just the hours you put in that makes the difference. To give you a better idea of what lies ahead, we conducted our own research to find out some of the common features 500 CFA charterholders share. So if you're on the fence, looking for more insight on what you need in the field, this video will shed some light on the matter. Okay, first things first. What's the general profile of such a professional? The image of chartered financial analysts cannot be made to fit stereotypes. The characteristics those have in common differ tremendously. Nevertheless, we have identified a few prevalent features among CFA charterholders. Let's see what these are. First, they speak 2 languages on average, with English being one of them. Second, financial analysts have worked for about 9.5 years in total. And third, a typical CFA charterholder has been on their current job for an average of 2 years. Okay, your key takeaway here is that you should set your expectations right. So be ready to work a couple of years before you earn the CFA designation. Sure. How about professional certificates? What's trending right now? Apart from the CFA designation, a few people did earn an extra credential. Out of the 500 samples, only 23 obtained an additional designation, such as ACCA, CPA, or CIMA. Now, we are not here to tell you if the CFA designation is any better than the others. Actually, they all serve a specific purpose. In the end, you are the one having to make an informed decision as to what certificates you need. One thing is sure, though. When it comes to education, bachelor's degree is the golden standard. Still, roughly 1/5 of all professionals obtained a master's degree. That may be something for you to think about when debating between enrolling for a master's or diving straight into the working field. It does look achievable to start your finance career with just a bachelor's. On the same note, Europe is the area with the highest number of CFA charterholders having a master's. India and the rest of the world, on the other hand, find a bachelor's paired with a CFA badge sufficient to land on financial soil. Interestingly, the USA counts for 24%, which is slightly above average. Okay, then comes the question, where did these CFA charterholders graduate from? Well, it turns out you do not need to be a top-ranking university graduate to find a breeding ground for a CFA career. Most of the people got a diploma from mid-ranked universities, or below. Interestingly, not a single representative holds a degree from any of the Ivy League institutions, and 10 people attended colleges that aren't even ranked. Surely, university ranking does play a role, but its overall influence isn't as striking as one would assume. Did all of them study finance, though? Not at all. With finance being the expected leader, of course, some 90 CFA charterholders opted for industrial management, and another 48 did technology, followed by a few healthcare and education graduates. Great! It's time to take a sneak peek into the practical experience of these financial analysts. So, What brought those CFA charter holders to the intricate land of investment and financial analysis? We better compare their last job to their previous jobs. Look at what we found out. Not all CFA charter holders have kicked off their careers in finance. Some of our samples worked as bar supervisors, musicians, podcast hosts, marketing specialists, and even university lecturers. While this is clearly an exception to the rule, you shouldn't be disheartened that you haven't gone the traditional way, because you are not alone. Comparing these two pillars, we see that the number of people who decided to change gear and take on an analyst's job as a next career move went up by approximately 10%. Now, let's check the rate of unemployed individuals. It went down from 20 to 4%. Outstanding! To sum it all up, this shows that not many people started off as analysts. They were occupied in a different field at first, but somehow crossed paths with analyst's job later on. The same goes for consulting jobs. Okay, so where do we find the most CFA charter holders? In the finance industry, of course. Interestingly, the number of people occupied in this field spreads more or less equally around the globe, with India being at the forefront. In the industrial sector, however, India employs double as many CFA charter holders as any other country. Healthcare and education do have a meaningful representation as well. We can conclude that there is no chartered financial analyst's paradise, because the skills are in demand worldwide. Wherever you go, you'll be welcome. This practically implies a certain level of flexibility too, which is kind of promising. Some food for thought on this. Awesome. Now we come to the part you've all been waiting for. How long it takes to become a chartered financial analyst. Let me give you a hint. It isn't going to happen overnight. For sure. 47% of all sampled started their careers 7 and more years ago. Ultimately, it all boils down to how well you plan your time and what your priorities are. There is no hard and fast rule. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, remember? Fair enough. Experience is good. But what are the most valued skills for a CFA charter holder? Financial analysis, MS Office, especially Excel, and financial modeling seem to be the most popular ones here. All technical, right? Indeed, you better make sure you have your hard skills all sorted before you jump on the financial analyst bandwagon. To that end, it won't do you bad to work on your overall expertise package, soft skills included. Note well taken. Next, where do you think CFA charter holders advance most rapidly? Half of the samples match the industry averages and follow the standard trajectory of such career progression, with people around the world having overall work experience of 7 or more years on average. What does that mean for you? Apparently, there are no shortcuts to become chartered financial analysts, and as you can see, no country will offer you a fast-track program. Can't become CFA charter holder in a day, right? At the end of the day, though, the CFA designation isn't your golden ticket to the world of finance and investing. Still, it is an outstanding embodiment of hard work, analytical thinking, and persistence. That's why we strongly believe it is a solid base for you to build on. In case you've already made up your mind and you wonder what to do next, we have something in store for you. Our online course, CFA Level 1 Bootcamp Part 1 and 2 in Udemy, will help you acquire a solid understanding of key business and finance disciplines in no time. Easily digestible and nicely presented, it is the perfect supplement to the official study materials by the CFA Institute. See you there!